When was calculus invented? Did the Greeks invent calculus, or did other cultures invent calculus as well, like in India, in the Arab world? And for me, the answer is yes. Calculus was invented way before Leibniz or Newton. The key question is, what is calculus? What is the fundamental concept of calculus that if you have discovered that concept, then you have already discovered calculus? And for me, the answer to that question is clear. It's the concept of limit. A limit is something fundamental to calculus. The limit of a function as x approaches a value goes into the very definition of continuity, the definition of a derivative, etc. And without the concept of limit, you do not have calculus. And now the question is, did other cultures already have the concept of limit before it was actually invented? And the answer is yes. The concept, the essence of limit was, for example, present in the work of Archimedes, for sure. For example, Archimedes understood that the circle is a limit of regular polygons as you let the number of sides go to infinity, and he used that fact to approximate the area of a circle of radius 1, so pi, using inscribing polygons and circumscribing polygons to come up with these beautiful approximations of pi is about 22/7, but in fact to give upper bounds and lower bounds of pi. The Greeks, Archimedes among them, also used this method to compute the area under a parabola, and there is no word for this other than just calculus. Now you might complain, that's not calculus. Where's the definition of limit, for example? Well, they just didn't have the machinery. They didn't have the language to talk about calculus in that way, but they were basically doing calculus. And in fact, Leibniz and Newton, they didn't have limits either. They used what they called infinitesimals, which is a very hand-wavy way of explaining calculus, which is not completely rigorous. And it wasn't until Cauchy that he proposed a prototype of what is now an epsilon delta definition of limit, and not until Weierstrass that we had the full formalism of what we now call a limit and an epsilon delta definition of limit. So you either say there was no calculus until Weierstrass, or you accept that there was calculus in India, in the Arab world, and in the Greek world.